Welcome, everybody. I am your host. Today, we have doing something special. Today, we're doing the very first inaugural Gamers podcast. I am your host, DJ Dark, and along with my co-host,
DJ Kyrie.
Today, we're going to discuss a few things about Tears of the Kingdom, along with a few other games that are coming out here in a few months. But I'd like time to introduce our special guest,
Mastermind 234 from Twitch.tv.
This is my brother, my younger brother. He is
In it.
You are the very first inaugural guest.
I gotta say that.
Hey, have fun. That's what we say, right?
Yeah.
All right.
How you doing, folks?
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn post notifications on. That way you know about live with each new video.
How about slapping that bell?
Shut up. Don't mind him. He's a nut. Anyway.
Slap that bell.
We have a few questions, and
Just going to clip it. Be careful. One person at a time, okay?
Clip.
Audio clip. Hit the red audio clip. So, one person at a time, okay? Go ahead.
They can hear you.
I'm just saying.
we have a few questions. This is more of a questions and answer type
Thing.
Ordeal.
thing that we're doing. Very first questions and answers that we've put off doing.
And remember, this is a opinionated discussion here. No one opinion will affect the game itself that we're discussing today. So remember, take the opinions with a grain of salt, and please do not judge.
Let me put it short and sweet. Nobody's answer is right or wrong.
Thank you. That's right. Thank you.
Pretty good.
All right.
I'm good.
I'll be the one asking the questions, and the discussion will be between DJ Dark and Mastermind.
Sound good?
10-4, homie.
Okay, first question. What do you look forward to in Tears of the Kingdom?
Well, honestly, just getting back into Hyrule and see what's all changed and see who's the main antagonist of the game. It's just going to be from what I've seen about all trailers, it's going to be amazing. Carrie? Or Mastermind, sorry. I used to say your name, sorry. See, this is ad-libbed. Go.
Really?
Yeah. Well, man,
I want to do the same thing like you're doing, but I also want to see if Ganondorf actually returns and get rid of that Calamity Ganon.
Calamity Ganon's gone.
I don't want him back ever again. I love to see the game turn out to be like Skyloft from Skyward Sword. And I would love to see them redesign how the horses are and everything else. I would love to have there more than one character to run onto the game besides Link. Maybe you can run with Zelda in a few missions and then go back to Link, and then or both Link and Zelda is tag teaming throughout the whole game. I would love to see that.
I could see them putting Zelda as a computer character, controlled by a computer character, and following Link around. I can see them doing that, but I don't see them having Zelda controlled by the player themselves.
But I would love to see.
I would
love to see the horses refixed. Also, if you have to use a horse or something, where they're not so big like Breath of the Wild. I mean, they were huge. They were bigger than Link itself. That's bad, in my opinion. I don't like big horses like that.
They actually took the models from real horses.
Well, if I think they should shrink it back down to Ocarina of Time style.
I agree with you.
That way you don't blow up on the whole screen.
Okay.
So that's what it done.
How do you think Tears of the Kingdom will tie into Breath of the Wild?
Honestly, that's a hard one to nail down because it's a direct sequel. It's going to be a couple of years or probably months after Breath took place.
I mean, the general idea of the map should be the same, but there's probably going to be another one where you're up in the sky
map,
and then you got the sky map, and then you got the actual
Catacomb map.
Yeah, and then you got the actual Hyrule map, like from Breath of the Wild. I believe that's what. And then the map. Yeah, but I don't think really much is going to change. They're going to bring back probably some old characters from other Zelda games, but other than that, I don't see much changing. Besides shrines are gone, towers are gone probably, and then you got dungeons are back where they're supposed to be, like how the Zelda franchise is supposed to be to begin with.
Yeah. I agree with you on that part because
then
honestly,
you got the tiers, which is you have to collect all the tiers. Tiers, yeah, you got to collect them all in order to progress
into the actual end game.
Exactly.
I agree with you on that one because when they took dungeons out, I mean, yeah, they gave you the Divine Beast, but they didn't really compare it to dungeons of the old Zelda games.
In a way, the Divine Beasts were your
Dungeons.
I think I think some of the Zelda Skyward Sword should come back into this new one. I hope that way
they need to make a lot of things back into it in a way, not just Skyward Sword.
We actually got DJ Kyrie to discussing this one. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's roll on.
Do you think Link will keep the Master Sword long enough before it needs to be reforged?
Honestly, from the trailers of the first few trailers we've seen, yes, he'll keep it for a good little bit until he goes down beneath Hyrule Castle and finds Ganon's corpse. But beyond that, I don't see him keeping it long, or at least until it's corrupted. And then the Zonai will probably step in and try to help him cleanse it and reforge it. That's my opinion. Master?
Well, I believe he would keep it at the very beginning because at the end of Breath of the Wild, he has what's it called the Master Sword, and then I believe he would keep it on into the game until it gets till like something happens and he loses it or something like that, and then corrupts, and then it gets lost completely. When he comes back and finds it, it's corrupted, and then it has to be refixed and reforged back to the pristine condition it was in.
Like from Skyward Sword, or
Wind Waker at the Forsaken Fortress, where he got shot at the cannon, he lost the sword, and then he had to work his way up to the thing
to get it back,
to get that small sword back. I believe it's going to be like that again, but I could be wrong. But
it's all opinionated.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all speculation at this point.
Yeah,
until it confirms it, we can confirm or deny. We can either confirm or deny this opinions, but we shouldn't have to wait long to find out about that.
Okay. Do you think they're keeping the Blood Moon system?
I think they could.
Most definitely. I believe they're going to keep it because they got to keep it in order because I would think because how Breath of the Wild is, you have to have a Blood Moon in order to bring back the enemies that you killed. But I'll also look at this too. There could be another possibility that where when you leave one area, you come back to the same area, there's enemies back where they belong.
Like Skyward Sword. Like
it's supposed to be. Like how original Zelda's game is. You go to one area, you come back, boom, they're right there. I mean, yeah, that's what I think too.
All right, let me get my opinion. I think they could keep it, but the way it works, they can revamp it to where it's not every time you have a Blood Moon trigger flag. Like every 4 or 5 days that goes to the game, trigger it.
4 or 5 days, so
and it gives you time to get to new areas and discover new areas
before Blood Moon snaps.
Yeah, that would make it a lot more manageable than what it is now because on Breath it happened on the most inopportune times.
Yeah, I mean
you've seen it yourself. We've been in the middle of a fight and Blood Moon pops up and they're back to full health.
Yeah, and then you have to go back and re-kill them, and not you will die.
Minus the last fight I got,
which is actually the game system would actually it'll screw you in the process.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Hero, then
literally it will mess you over.
Yeah,
I got a Blood Moon, and it happened to be in the middle of a fight, and so forth and so on. And they didn't regain their health.
Some do, but some don't. Depending on what the level is.
It's the same way when you trigger a Blood Moon trying to do that shrine. You can be sitting there for hours and hours and hours and not trigger a Blood Moon, and then all of a sudden you're hit.
Speaking of
you walk off the thing. Go down the mountain. You walk up the thing. Go down the mountain. It triggers a Blood Moon. But if you go back up it, nope, you wasted it. You wasted that time. I mean, you don't never know. I think there should be a timer. I think what they need to do if they do make a Blood Moon, they need to put a little timer at the top
in the window,
or let everybody know when a notification says Blood Moon is coming.
Take shelter.
A Blood Moon is coming. Be prepared.
Speaking of which,
exclamation point.
Speaking of which. We actually encountered that at the Blood Moon Shrine over in Ridgeland. Good night. That was a nightmare trying to get that Blood Moon to trigger.
Oh, it triggered for me perfectly. I just sat there for like not even 10 minutes. It's like I went, I said, well, that worked with me. It didn't work with us. Now if I go back and play the game again, it's not going to work.
I don't
play the game. I'm waiting until I'm not playing the game. I'm gonna wait until the new one comes out, and then I'm gonna play the new one, and then I'm gonna do like the right way. I mean, I'm not gonna play Breath of the Wild anymore.
Speaking of which, me and DJ Carey have already pre-ordered our copies. Thank you to GameStop. They don't sponsor the video, but we want to say thank you to GameStop for allowing us to pre-order our games effectively and efficiently. If you want your games pre-ordered effectively and efficiently, instead of going for digital, go physical and go to GameStop.
Well, if you want to save on room and you only limited to space, we advise you to go to GameStop or Best Buy or whatever it is, or Target or Walmart, wherever you're going to go, and pre-order the game. Now, if you don't care about space or whatever, do it digital. Do it digital. But it's simple.
With us, we prefer.
We've seen how Zelda can take up space on the Wii U and the Switch. It's nightmare to your storage. Good Lord, it's a nightmare in your storage. Next question.
Do you think the Zelda amiibos will still have a function without the Sheikah Slate?
Honestly, no. I want to say no because the Sheikah Slate had the amiibo functionality built into it. Now, could they re-implement it into the tier functionality?
Yes.
Instead
of using a Sheikah Slate, they could use something else in return.
It could be one of the tiers that we collect that does it.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could be an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Or look at it this way. They could
incorporate a different sword or
Skyward
a shield.
Sword.
Or
they had that I don't have it in here. The Skyloft amiibo you could use in the options menu. Maybe they'll have that. You never know.
They'll have to. Like I said, it's all depending on how they want it to go.
Exactly. I mean, there could be an upgrade to it. There could be a possibility upgrade. You didn't think about it. See, shields and swords is just the same thing like that. They can incorporate, instead of using the Sheikah Slate, they can take the Healing Shield if it comes back into the game. And they can incorporate that and have an upgrade kit for it, where it'll have a little thing right here that beeps right here.
And
your amiibo goes beep 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 beep, and your amiibo, and then you put it on there and bring, and it shows up. But instead of having all these awards and stuff,
God, the drops.
You can actually get other stuff in return. But I think the amiibo should return.
I think they should give you that. You should start off with. I know they're going to touch off with the Champions Tournament. That's going to be a given. That's another time to Breath of the Wild. I believe that's going to be a given.
Honestly, I don't think they should have all the armor sets except for a select
But here's the thing.
few.
Exactly. I actually agree with that one. Here's another thing that we need to think about too. You got all these shields and swords out here nowadays into the game, created in Breath of the Wild. They have not once yet talked about the Mirror Shield. They have not yet want to talk about the Kokiri Shield or nothing like that. You know, or Fierce Deity. What they come back?
Fierce Deity they never had a shield.
They had a sword.
It had a shield.
It had a sword. But here's the thing: we don't have it on Breath of the Wild.
Bull.
Yes, you do.
Amiibo.
Really?
Amiibo gives it to you.
Oh yes, that's right. It is on Breath of the Wild. But okay, yeah, it is on Breath of the Wild. But but they don't have the shield. They should have. There's no sword. They need to make a shield for it.
It's a 200 sword.
The Sage's sword.
Like mine, I got the Sage's sword. I got the sword of the 7 Sages. But I got a bonus question to ask both of y'all at the end of this. So be prepared for it, okay?
Yeah. Next.
Do you think the main antagonist of the game will be Ganon?
Nope.
Or
you mean Ganondorf? But hang on, that's Chris' question.
Will it be Alistair from AOC?
Okay. Here's another question here on that one right here too. What if it's both of them?
That's a good point.
What if it's both of them? You have to face Ganondorf.
Alistair could be the puppet of Ganondorf.
What if you have to face? Here's the thing though. Yeah, like I said, what if we have to face both of them, and then we have to face a couple more enemies from the past?
Because think of AOC when we played Age of Calamity. What happened? Malice rose up and covered Hyrule.
What Ganondorf comes back as the Ocarina of Time version, the Wind Waker version, the other all the way up till now. Then you still have to face Calamity Ganon.
I don't see him doing Wind Waker. I don't see him doing that. The reason why, because in Breath, she only talked about 3 versions of the games: Skyloft, Ocarina of Time, and TP.
Twilight Princess. I mean,
think of it this way.
And TP is a more reliable decision because he has that.
You also got Zant. And what?
That's Twilight Princess.
He killed Zant, but here's the thing: some people can revive him back.
No,
they're calling
be revived back. He broke his own neck.
I mean,
he committed suicide.
Think of it this way: you never killed Alistair in Age of Calamity.
No,
but
you sealed him, but he can come back out of that seal any damn time over the years.
Think of it this way:
just like Ganon
while you were in Age of Calamity,
Twilight Princess,
all the champions went to their divine beasts.
Divine beasts should be gone except for one.
All champions went to the divine beasts, right? Yeah. Then they died inside their divine beasts by being trapped.
Yeah. The doors shut down. Shut once they got in. The doors slammed shut.
Then the blights get the wind blight, the water blight, electric blight,
and fire blight.
They all killed off all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Think of it this way: you had to go save the champions.
New champions around.
New champions are coming around because in Age of Calamity, it proved it.
Mm-hmm.
They went back into the future. You got Riju, Sidon, Unibo.
What if they all? Here's the thing. What if they all come back? What if they all come back and then you still have to face Ganondorf?
Talon.
That other person, Ganondorf and Alistair. What if you have to face all the old ones plus the new one? But the old ones have been upgraded models. And they have armor on them too. Like
I can see them being. And now the dungeon, I can see them
being made of stone. They could be made of stone.
I can see that. I can see them doing that if they put them in the dungeons.
Because
that would make sense.
As we've seen in the
dungeons
trailers,
needs to be a lot harder than they are.
As we've seen the dungeon in the trailers, Hyrule is now overflowed with malice. It's coming out of Death Mountain.
There is Death Mountain.
Not just that. We've also seen when Link was going down. You've seen him on a bird. A stone bird.
It looked like his old bird.
I don't think the divine beast's going to be made of sheet material. It's going to be
actual stone.
Actual stone.
It looked like his old bird from Skyward Sword.
It's no.
It looked like the Crimson. They look like
but it was in stone.
Crimson Loftwing. It looked like one. And that may be the Crimson Loftwing in fossilized form. And he come to Link the rescue because he knew Link needed help.
Possible.
And now I want to talk about that right quick. Reason why I'm saying it is Ganondorf because the Gerudo headpiece, the Gerudo markings, and the Gerudo earrings,
and the hole in the chest,
TP. I'm sorry. That is straight Twilight Princess Ganondorf.
Let me tell you something right now about the Twilight Princess. Okay, look, they sealed him away.
They didn't seal him. They sealed him with a Master Sword.
But
in the catacombs.
He didn't die. If you look at it, he did not die. He's still there, but he can still come out any damn time.
Well, he's dead. His body is dead.
His body has decayed.
But
all you see is it's his bones.
His skin.
Skin and bones.
Hello. Okay. Let me go back now. All right. We got a new visitor.
This is our little Preach Dreams.
Now, like I say, the reason why I'm saying it is TP Ganon is because of one thing and one thing only. The hole in the chest is where the mouse is spewing out from.
Yeah, I mean, no question about Gandalf should come back. I mean, I don't see why not.
He's been gone for too dang long.
It's time to see him come back.
What function do you think the tears will have in the game?
This is a hard one to say. Honestly, it's hard to say.
Honestly, what you think?
It's honestly an opinionated question right here.
Oh, I had trouble with the tears. I had trouble with the tears in the Twilight Princess. I mean, I'm always.
What do you think functionality will have in this game?
I'm hoping it won't be as hard to obtain the tears as the other games. That way, you ain't gonna search around there like right here in different spots, but not really close by, not too far off.
Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess.
Honestly, what I think the tears will do is symbolize each area getting liberated. Because now you got to think about Hyrule will now be separated into just 7.
Tears
regions instead of 13.
Them tears of lights on Twilight Princess, you had to get them in order to lighten up the area.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think
what if it's the same way this time?
Ocarina of Time, you only had Death Mountain.
You had Kokiri Forest, you had Death Mountain, you had
Lake Woods.
The Lost Woods, you got Lake Hylia.
In the same area.
Lake Hylia, then you had
Blue Desert.
The whole Gerudo, then you had Central Hyrule itself.
And you got that big island. You don't get
they're going back,
which is part of the Great Plateau.
They're going back, taking references from Ocarina of Time and throwing them into this new one. But what I'm saying is, it makes sense now that we've discovered the 13 regions of Hyrule. They'll knock it down to 7 now, which will make more sense.
Yeah, but I'm hoping the game is even longer than Breath of the Wild. I mean, Breath of the Wild was long.
They
but
said it would be
this
longer.
game right
They said it would be darker.
They said it would be just as long.
This game
darker.
This game, I'm hoping we don't have to collect none of the Korok seeds, none of that fast, none of that crap that you don't need in the game. Korok seeds are useless. The only thing good is you get 200 or something of them, you can upgrade everything, and then you're left with nothing left. And then you get a stupid thing at the end for 100 thing. It's Korok something.
It looks like crap.
It's called Hetsu's Gift. It's a piece of crap.
It's a golden piece of crap.
It's a golden poop emoji.
You can't do nothing to it. It's a piece of turd.
It's a golden poop emoji.
Yeah, but
they actually put an emoji in there.
Which was, I guess Hetsu was going to take the place of Tingle.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm hoping Beetle comes back. I'm hoping Tingle does show up somewhere in between.
Tingle ain't going to.
Tingle's voice actor's
dead.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
So he ain't going to be there.
Like I said, I hope they do come back.
That's why Hetsu, they had Hetsu.
And I hope the mailman comes back. Oh my God, the mailman. We need mail again.
Yeah.
That was
mail.
All right, next question.
Okay. Do you think we will see Skyloft Ruins?
Definitely. Most highly possible.
I would say.
I can't say definitely, but I would say highly possible. This one we'll agree on.
So far, we know that you see ruins in the sky, but do we know?
When you
watched
because if you think about it,
when you watched that trailer, you saw the ruins right there.
Yeah, but thing is, are they Skyloft or
something else?
Something else.
I mean, you'll never know.
There are some ground that's been pulled from the earth. You can clearly make that out.
Yeah, but they're not
with the tree roots and all. You can clearly make that you said in the ground.
But you'll never know until you
start specifically. You used to see Skyloft was out on the ground at one point too.
Well, I'm saying you see where places where chunks of earth have been ripped out into the malice, but you can see where they once sat because the tree roots are still connected to the earth.
I mean, it's not far from the game to release in May the 12th. We've got 117 days, 116, 117 days. No, it's 116, 117 days.
They said 118. You're going by Japanese release date, not ours. Oh. Right, it goes by Japanese.
Okay. Here is the end question.
Oh, really?
The very last question. How do you think the game will end?
That's hard again.
It's like all the original. Well, actually, wait a minute. No, it could change where Link could actually possibly fall into battle and actually get hurt and possibly die. But there's another possibility too. He could beat. Well, actually, there's another possibility right here on this one. Besides that falling down, he can beat Ganon or whoever the boss is, and then the boss will come back 1 minute and shunt him really hard, and he can also die too. So it's a win-win situation. He can also beat the boss.
But that was
with Zelda.
But that would
come back and stay alive.
That still wouldn't shatter the cycle.
That would shatter the cycle.
Somebody else could come back.
If he dies, then he cannot have no more kids.
Yeah, he can. It says in Hyrule Historia says this: when Hyrule D is the greatest, the hero will be reborn.
He cannot be reborn if
there won't be Link. It'll be somebody else, probably Linkle or someone like that.
You have to have a Link in order for the Hyrule to have a hero.
No, that's not true. Wind Waker did not have a Link.
No, that wasn't Link.
Wind Waker
that wasn't Link.
When Link was sent back in time, in Ocarina of Time to his childhood, there was no Link in the adult timeline. None.
No.
Don't tell me it can't happen. It can't.
Yeah, but what was his name?
It was a forgotten Link.
That hero, that stood though in Wind Waker.
Well, Wind Waker also
Link.
You
have to have a Link in Zelda.
The unnamed Link that played in Wind Waker also played the Spirit Tracks in Phantom Hourglass.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
But there's no name on that.
Before the events of Wind Waker, in the adult timeline, when Hyrule was flooded, the people turned their eyes to the gods to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
The gods replied with a torrential downpour. There was no Link. None.
The map
then one day, when Gandalf returned back above the seas, he was born. Bang!
Yeah, it was just a random, unnamed person.
There was never a hero of wins before then. All there was just normal. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, bang!
It just showed up out of nowhere.
Yep. You see what I'm saying? So you can't really say if there would be no win. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the bonus question. Nitty-gritty stuff. Nitty-gritty stuff. Do you think they'll implement a repair system in the game?
Yeah, definitely.
That way you
can repair stuff if it gets damaged in combat. Also, but here's the thing though, what if they make stuff that are impenetrable from damaging too? Think about that.
I'm just saying, do you think they'll implement a repair system to repair weapons that you have damaged over time?
Depending on the weapon. Now, if certain weapons like swords don't damage, they don't. They don't have to require. Yeah. Now the shields,
swords, like saber blades.
I think the shields should be repaired because they're always getting hit.
If you get
swords,
certain shields, yes, should damage. If you get the healing shield, if it's in the game, they should not have it damaged because it never damaged in any other game.
Exactly, and I don't think the Master Sword should be. I think the Master Sword, when you fully upgrade it, is done with. And if you use it before then, I don't think it should get damaged anyway until a cutscene takes effect and it damages it in the cutscene, not when you using it.
Okay.
And I got another question on this one right here.
All right, throw yours in.
Imagine if they bring back all the old swords from the past games, every one of them.
The old Master Swords?
All of them. Put them all into the game, and all the old shields back into the game too.
That would overload the game too. But because think about it, if you pull all the old Master Swords from every game in the past, you're pulling 35 swords.
Not all Master Swords, I'm talking about all the other swords that are not considered to be Master Sword, like Cookie Sword, and you got all these other swords that should be back into the present day game instead of the past. And just like the shields, you got the mirror shield, you got that horrible shield that was in Majora's Mask that wasn't even considered the healing shield. It was just
a hero shield.
It's just a weird-looking shield with a whole bunch of crappy designs.
It was called the hero shield, and it took the place of the healing shield.
Then they should have all the Kokiri.
That was the Termanian version of the healing shield.
The dark version of the healing shield.
They should have all them shields back into the new one, and get rid of some other stuff.
Now the shield I think they should keep is the ancient Guardian shield, the one that can reflect beams.
The ancient shield itself.
Imagine if they get rid of the Guardians altogether, because there was a massive battle into the Breath of the Wild that we didn't see, but we saw cutscenes of it where all the Guardians got killed and stuff.
A
lot of them did. Yeah.
Not all of them killed, though.
What if they actually decided to kill them all off and put them in a graveyard somewhere?
Go collect parts.
Ancient parts.
Go collect ancient parts, and there's no Guardians at all.
Well, very possible. And
what about the dragons in the game?
I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, but what about the dragons in the game?
I believe they'll still have I believe they'll still have a bigger part this time. They may
not be a part of a dragon per se. They'll probably have it as a different.
And I'm hoping they have a better ability to climb up mountains and
get rid of the freaking rain.
Yeah, and here's another thing.
Or keep the rain, but just let you climb. Because in rain, you can still climb.
Have the ability to have a hook shot this time.
Thank you.
A long shot.
That
actually works, and a boomerang that actually, when you throw it, it comes back to you.
They come back to you in this game.
Not to mention a slingshot.
I don't see
the boomerangs actually come back to you.
They need a hook shot, and they definitely need a long shot. They have to have one.
Now the bows,
I think they need to go back to the standard bow from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Get rid of all this new bows.
Don't let them break. But
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. But without being said, everybody, what do y'all think about the game that you've seen so far in the trailers?
I can't wait, to be honest with you.
I'm thrilled.
Honestly, I honestly cannot wait, y'all. We don't have very long to wait. That's for sure. 118, 117 days. It'll come back. It'll come and go fast. I promise you. Also, be on the lookout for my live stream of when I do RE4 remake. It launches May 12th or March 12th or March 24th. Sorry, 2023. 2 months on the 23rd on the 24th this month to be exact. That'll be 2 months right away.
Space remake.
I know I've already seen it. I don't like it.
Same thing.
I don't like it. I don't like it. But like I said, the game will RE4 I will live stream, or I will live stream RE4 from the Xbox. Well, it launches on March 24th of this year. Also, be looking for more content coming your way with more discussions with Mastermind. And hopefully some other people as we get closer to launch day. That is May 12th, 2023.
Adios, folks. See you later.
Thank you, Mastermind, for joining us.
You're welcome.
I have been your host, DJ Dark, and this is
DJ Kyrie.
Thank you for joining us for our very first inaugural podcast of the Gamers Podcast. Look out for episode 2 coming later on next month. And until then, everybody, we'll see you then.
Hold your sword skyward.
Keep your sword skyward, and we'll see you in the next one.